All right, guys. How are you doing? Those of you who are going to be showing up and watching, we're going to be posting this up on YouTube as well. We're going to be keeping this short, about an hour long. This is just an idea that I kind of want to play with. We're going to hopefully maybe do like a bi-weekly thing or a weekly thing, whatever happens. Because potentially this summer we're going to be seeing some things heat up for incursions. I'm hoping we don't have any like 1 month long hiatus like we did last time. Kind of sucked. And we'll be able to have some topics to talk about on a consistent basis. So the cast might get a little bit more um, intricate later on with some graphics and all kinds of other good stuff. But for those of you who don't know, I am Brett FX. I'm going to be kind of running this right now, joined here by codename Deuce, who is the runner and or leader of or owner. We'll get the word here pretty soon. Of ESB, he is a past competitive player for PS4 and PC, and he runs leagues for all three platforms. I believe all three platforms, right?
Yeah. What do you mean past competitive player? Why are you hating on me? I still play and compete.
If you call what you do competing.
Oh, wow. I mean, you know what? To all the BFN players out there, my team, Team USA, won the last event. So, I mean, you know.
Well, I didn't say
hate
you
all
couldn't
you want,
be
bro.
carried.
Oh, wow. The hate is real.
Can I ask
Okay.
the name of your team?
1v1, 1v1.
1v1 me, bro. 1v1 bizarre. 1v1 bizarre. Okay, so
1v1's Amien's first flag.
oh god, no. But next guy is going to be Safe. He is a past competitive player as well. He has won a lot of events, been placed in very high-end events in ESL 1. He has played on multiple professional teams for Battlefield 4. Did you, and Battlefield 3 actually. I remember you back in the, oh my god, I cannot remember the team back then.
3-bit.
3-bit, yes. I remember I remember watching some epic Dan Van Peak matches with you and Six Fan Universe back then. But very, very good competitive player. And he's hoping to kind of get back into it again. He's really excited about some future stuff coming up for potential that. So we're just going to kind of talk a little bit about some of our thoughts about the patch so far. We'll go into maybe some of the kits, some of the things with matchmaking, maybe what we hope for the future, that type of stuff. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and just a general idea. It's a yes or no question. Is it better post-patch than it was pre-patch?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Much
I
better.
would say it is too. Out of everything, I guess that happened with the patches coming out so far, I think most people are happy with the changes that were made. There were some things that we're going to talk about here that I'm kind of concerned with. I don't think that they impact the game too heavily, but I am a little bit concerned with it. So that was the first question. Easy question, right, guys? Very, very, very easy, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
Did I pass? Did I pass?
Yeah. So the next one, and this I know Safe is going to have a lot of discussion about, and that's going to be matchmaking in the party system. Okay, so we'll start off with Safe because I know he's got a lot to say about this. But I want to hear, just not too long-winded, but what are you thinking so far with the matchmaking party system? Does it have any merit to it? See it being able to be improved upon? Is there chance for it to be better in the future?
Well, it definitely has a chance to become better in the future. The thing is, how much is DICE are willing to put time into it? Because right now it's quite hard to put an opinion on the matchmaking. The thing is, right now I'm experiencing actually the same as what happened to me in the previous patch, and that's like once I ranked up, it became hard for me to find any games personally, and that's also and that's a different story. Right now I'm actually experiencing the same. I got higher rank, it's hard for me to find games. Now this is supposed to be a competitive game, so it's like, oh yeah, once you reach a higher rank, it's hard for you to play anymore, right? Um, but in the matchmaking overall, it has potential. The question is how much is DICE are willing to put time and effort, resources into improving this. Because right now I think it works inconsistently and very poorly, if you ask me. And and that's all from the player base count, the information we're getting as a viewer, like the user interface. It's improving, but it's not enough. It's not enough for me to see there are 33 players searching across all queues. I want to know where people are searching. I don't want to guess. I want to like know if I'm gonna search ranked or casual.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there.
I need information. Like I'm gonna give you an example, and this is not a joke. It's not like I don't have much to do with my life, but I literally spent total of I'm not lying or exaggerating. I spent 2 hours searching for, and I found one game. Um, and that was we're talking about it was actually populated. I don't know why I couldn't.
Yeah, but do you
Um,
think this is a PC problem? Because I mean, I've seen console guys, they've had a fairly decent,
I
easy
think
time getting matches.
yeah, I think that the thing is, I think it's a combination of many things. I think the reason for this is first of all it's PC, so we have lower numbers than PlayStation X and Xbox has. So this means I can easily have a higher rank just because of I've played this game so much compared to all the new guys. And by that, having this algorithm that works with with the MMR and who you get matched up with, it makes it harder for me as a guy to play. Now when you get other people like me who has ranked up and they grind and they become better and they start like winning, the last thing you want to do is to actually push them away from the game. You want to keep these guys, you want to keep them grinding. So and I feel this is what's happening. I feel every good player, they're encountering this issue because they are not the PC scene is not big. It's not that big. A lot of players, they got pushed away.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Compared to consoles. Also, the competition on PC is higher than it is on consoles. We got Counter Strike. I know PUBG is also on consoles, but it's very popular on PC. There is a H1Z1, what you name it. There's a lot of FPS shooters out there, and it takes a split second just to switch another game. And this has been the case for I don't know, most of us.
I think one of the
Another thing,
problems too that you had mentioned earlier was the fact that the UI, which it did get better. By the way, guys, if you didn't know, big UI update happened was actually Dave gave up. So props to him. Awesome to see that. But I still think now it's very hard to tell, especially when you're looking at matchmaking. Well, what are they matchmaking in? Is it the
yeah,
unranked or is it ranked? So you can't really tell what's being filled and what's not being filled. 2 nights ago, I think there's like 33 people in North America that were matchmaking, but I was never finding a match because more than likely most of them were in the casual, the unranked version. So I think there needs to be a little bit more done on the UI to kind of help out with that. But as the numbers grow, it should kind of sort itself out. I would hope. I would like to think so. I think that they made Yoye today posted up, said that they made a change the way the MMR works, or they expanded out. How was it exactly? Did he? I think it was something like they made it to where the ranks are a little bit further apart. You have to grind more to get up. Is that the way?
Well, he reduced them. So like now, I don't know if you were like gold 1, you're probably like you got ranked up like 1. Essentially, they changed the ranges today of the matchmaking like ranks. So the ranges are different and they're a little bit, I think, reduced to try to like. I think the higher you go up, it's still similar to that, but like I think at the start it's more spread out. So a lot of people that were high rank got a rank boost.
yeah,
I think they need to kind of make it a little bit more grindy than what it had been. Like I don't play a whole lot, and I don't even know what my rank is right now. But before the hiatus that we had, I think I made it up in the platinum, and I did not deserve to be in a platinum rank. Like it was just I think I played maybe it. They weren't really even that good. So I think maybe we need to see a little bit more distance. That would help out a little, finding a more skilled matchmaker, because there are a couple of people who are a little bit higher ranks that don't really belong there, but because they were on some really good teams, they ended up getting boosted up pretty fast.
Hmm. Yeah, that's true.
But I mean, that's a problem you're gonna have anyways when you have a low population. Like you're just gonna be like, I don't know, you're gonna be a diamond compared to, I don't know, the 1,000, 2,000 player pool that's playing. And the unfortunate part is a lot of them are gonna be, casual players that aren't really like into competitive, and so when they go against people that play every day, scrim every day, it's normally gonna be at a disadvantage. So I think as soon as the population increases, and I would assume Incursions hopefully goes into some kind of full release, that more people come in and the ranks will kind of sort themselves out, because I don't think the matchmaker is a problem itself. I think it's just the lack of population, which screws up with how the matchmaking is trying to sort itself out.
Okay, well, let's segue into you being a console player, or at least playing on console as well as PC. What has the matchmaker been like for you guys? Like, has it been more consistent of the higher ranking players are playing against higher ranking players? Does it feel fair? Does it feel like getting matches in a fast enough time?
To be honest, yeah. I mean, I don't usually like take more than 2 to 3 to maybe 5 minutes to queue up. And most of the time, I'm playing against people that I've met in like competitive games, and I know ultimately. So that seems fair enough. I think I'm like platinum something right now, platinum 3 or 2, and I am getting matchmake against like competitive players. So ultimately, that feels right. I haven't had big issues. I mean, one of the big issues I do have is with the three-man party queue. I like it because it gets you to play with another friend. But I feel like in some situation, it can mess up things. Because, I mean, at the start, I felt like it was just putting me either against 3 other people in a party or just no one at all. And I've noticed in the past few days, it's also been putting me like against 2 duos. So if like 2 like people are just matchmaking with one of their friends, so party of 2, I'm getting put against 2 party of 2s. The problem I ran into is that I got matchmade into like 2 party of 2s and then one other comp player. So it essentially 3v5, and then like a random, let's say, took a tank. And so we ultimately had no tank against like 5 competitive players. And I feel like that's a problem when you allow 3-man parties and like a free draft. So I would rather see, like in the situation it's in now, to avoid these kind of issues, kind of how like a snake draft. So ultimately your party will be able to pick some of the classes, because even yet last night I played and I got the randoms that got both the tank and the AT assault, and my team was stuck against another tanker for the first match. Just couldn't do anything about it, and that literally just breaks everything because of how the classes are structured. And you have literally one class that can kill the tank, because sure, the shock assault can do damage to the tank, but the shock assault isn't going to do anything to the tank on its own. So I wish they would introduce at this point like a snake draft to try it out with the 3-man matchmaking, because on consoles right now we do have the numbers. Like honestly, like you usually find like 30, 40 games being played and there's no numbers issue. But yeah, the class thing is a problem for me for the ranked right now.
Well, in my opinion, and I have some pretty strong opinions on just playing the game as it is right now, because the way I see it is that this is still a test. This is still a test phase. Still all pre-alpha, beta, whatever you want to call it. It's not the base game. So in my opinion, I don't like the fact that they bumped it up to 3. That is detrimental. I think that you run into issues like what you're talking about there. I think that for now they should leave it to 2, and that's it. And these people who are complaining about, well, I want to play with my team 5 because that's what a competitive game is for. Yeah, I agree with you. That's why we have private matches. And you guys, if you're a true team of 5, you know other teams of 5. So you should go out there and find those other teams of 5 to play against if you want that next level of play for the map. And you can give that feedback after that match. That's going to be valuable information that DICE can use. But with the matchmaker, with the numbers that it is right now, with it not being open, with not being a base game or a launch game, then I don't think that a 3-man party or higher is good for the game at all. It's going to hurt the.
Yeah, I agree. I personally don't think it should ever be more than two. Like even when the game is released, I don't think it should ever be more than two-man queue for ranked play, because to me you're just breaking the rank system in that way, because you're just ultimately stacking. And like you said, if you have a 5-man group, just go in whatever of the many discords that exist to find a match.
Well,
You know,
it would
and
be
ultimately,
interesting because depending on the numbers, it would be interesting. And I know both of you guys played in a similar system like this, but remember back in ESL, my experience was back in Battlefield 3. Play on ESL with matches ranked, go in there and matchmake, but also do parties. You know, it would be kind of cool if within the UI system they had maybe have unranked, ranked, and then whatever the league was. So let's just call it, you know, Battlefield World League. Had BWL, and you could play BWL matches with full 5-man parties, and that would be its own little rank. And I know that that would be somewhat split base a little bit, but you would definitely have that option of solo queue ranked and then full party ranked.
yeah, I mean, Killzone actually had something like this in the past, where you had the regular matchmaking, the rank stuff, and then you had like a platoon or a clan matchmaking, and there you would queue up with your. At the time, it was 4. You queue up with your 4, your 5, and then you go into that. You know, I don't feel that you need to have 5 in the ranked. I think it should just be a separate leaderboard. So you have platoons already. People are already in platoons. So like 5 people for your platoon, you know, or a party of 5 or whatever, and that way you have like a separate leaderboard, like a platoon leaderboard, and that would solve the problem even of people needing to find scrims in Discord. You can just like queue up with your friends, and whoever you find, you know.
Well, like Hubsucks over here, what he's talking about with two main. I don't really see a problem with that because you know, the people that are playing should private comp problem unless you lack of solo. To me, as it is now. Oh, what do you think, Safe? You like it?
I like what?
He's like, he's just ignoring. He's falling asleep over there going, the
Safe
parties,
is like
the
Sorry,
parties.
babies. Yeah.
Oh yeah, regarding the parties, I think I know it's a bit split regarding if it should be 2 or 3. I kind of agree with Deuce that it should only be 2 for the rank, but I also agree with Hopsocks that it there will always be one guy left alone. Honestly, I think 3 can be the limit. If 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 you want to do that. I mean, I've been having good games so far with a 3-man party, but that's only because I've been meeting another 2 to 3-man party skilled players. But to have a simple solution for this is that once the player base is populated, just make it a very simple algorithm that makes it like if it's a 5-man party, then make sure they get ranked up versus a 3 to 4 5-man party. 3 if they are like highly skilled, for instance, or if it's a 2-man party, then rank them versus other 2-man party, or if it's individuals, then versus another 2-man party with 3 other individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just make it work that way. But that's would only work in a bigger player base. But
Well, I
for
think
the
we can
numbers,
all
with the
agree.
numbers,
We can all
yeah,
agree that a bigger player pool
yeah,
is going to solve a lot of these issues.
yeah. Because this is not an issue we have in Counter Strike. I don't think this is an issue. I don't know how it is in Overwatch though, but I don't think this is an issue. I played Paladins, for instance. It wasn't an issue at that time. Like I know in Paladins ranked, you can only be 2 or 3. I don't remember. But in the casual competitive mode, it's it's open for everyone, and it's the same in I say most competitive games, and it should be like this with Battlefield as well. we shouldn't solve the issue of there are not enough players by limiting how many can party up together. Then the issue lays within the game and not the the party system itself.
Well,
So
I think I don't know. I think for now the 3-man parties are definitely going to hurt PC crowd. I think console has enough people that can sustain it to a point. But I just really feel like for the testing phase anyways, for us to have like full 5-man parties and things like that. So but okay, so and real quick, another thing I want to touch on, and then we'll move on to the next topic. But how is it? So I've read some stuff on Reddit and I've seen some Twitter posts. How convoluted is the private match system on PlayStation, on consoles?
It's the biggest pain in the butt I've ever experienced in my life. Like, okay, so this is how it is. In order to invite people to a party, to the private match, you don't have a key. You have to have them on your friends list. So every time you have to make a match with some other team, you have to go in their party, add everyone on the list, go back to the invite thing, the match admin, and invite everyone individually, bro, from your team and from their team. So that ends up being a lot of people you're adding to your friends list just to scrim. And it can be fairly annoying if you don't want like, 600-700, friend lists.
So
and then
you have to. So let me get this straight real quick. I legitimately don't know. You have to have everybody that gets invited to this match, 9 players, on your friends list.
correct.
Holy crap!
So you have to go in their party, like in their party on PlayStation that they're using to communicate, and like you'll see a player list, you can just quickly add them. They have to accept, and then you can invite them. And that's not even the worst part. You go back to your party once you've invited them. Oh, but when you invite them and you're in the party, it doesn't work. So you have to, everyone has to be free of a party, join the session, and then make a new party chat to talk to each other. Because if you join while you're in a party, the game tells you couldn't join because you're already in a party. So like it's the biggest mindfuck in the history.
So this is
like honestly.
they have somehow made it harder than what it was to actually have a private server in BF4.
Oh my God. Like I don't understand why they don't give us a key as well. People can type it in really quickly. Just give us a key.
That's
Like
crazy.
just
That's
give us a key. People can write it down and copy paste it. Whatever. The fact you're making it so complicated is dumb as hell. And imagine doing that for a best of 3. You have 3 maps and you have to do this every time again and again. It's
that
literally
is something that I do want to see them change is get it so that we can have a list of maps to queue up, list of modes and maps that we can kind of queue up and don't have to completely back out and restart it every time. All right, so next thing, we're going to be moving it on a little bit. So what do you think of the kit changes, starting with the Frommer Stomp removal? And then we'll move on to the removal of all tripwires. I know Safe is a big fan of that one. And the addition of mines, which Safe is also not liking at a certain point. So, Safe, what do you think?
I'm happy that the tripwires are gone finally. There are just so many things in the game that they are so noob friendly and they just don't belong to the game. And having random kills once in a while is not cool. Yeah, it's maybe fun in matchmaking, but having like tripwires behind doors and whatever, and to be honest, like when I used to play in the past, I always had to worry like where to go, where to run if there are tripwires. Right now, I don't think about this when playing infantry. So that's gone. That's great. They replaced it with mines. That's also great. I like the idea that they are focusing more against the tank, which is quite awesome. Thing is, the current mines, you can put way too many of them on the map.
Yes.
And it's not even a problem. It's for me, it's not that. The problem is that like my tank, it can reload fast. I got 6 bullets. I can blow them all up. The thing is, I'm playing with teammates. They literally throw my own mines, like our own teammates' mines. They throwing them everywhere. They have no clue. They're just throwing them everywhere. They see a tank, they got scared, they throw them everywhere. And all it takes an infantry player from the enemy team is just to shoot it once while I'm close to it, and I'm dead. That's my own teammates' mines. Each team can place up to 10 mines. That's 20 on a map.
Oh no, it's
Now,
more than that.
oh, more than that. Okay,
It's more than that.
30 mines.
You can place down 6 mines if you're reloading. So you can place down up to 6 mines per infantry kit who has them.
Per
So if you have
infantry kit, okay.
you have a prox recon and you have a shock assault, 12 mines if they're getting reloaded. And then your tank can pop down 3 mines if he's running the is it the battle mechanic or the demo driver that has it?
The demo driver.
Okay, the demo. So if you're running the demo driver, you can poop out 3 mines. So you can have up to 15 mines out for one team on the field at once.
Okay, so you just explained it yourself.
Okay, the only thing I'm happy about though, sorry to interrupt, is the fact that as soon as the person dies that put down the mines, they disappear. That's the only saving grace here because
do they disappear?
They do disappear 100%. Because
Okay.
that was my biggest concern in the world was like, okay, literally like minefield 2.0, and then they just stay there. But it's not true. Actually, as soon as you get killed, they just disappear, which is a good balance, to be honest.
I don't think they get disappeared because I remember Drunk said himself that it would be a great idea to make them disappear once the guy is dead.
Yeah.
Or right now disappear. I mean, I've been putting them as soon as I died in the scrims I've been playing as a shock assault.
Them up, but I'm pretty sure they're always there because I'm killing a lot of guys and their mines are still there. Actually, yeah, I can prove you wrong. I remember a situation on
Since the new patch?
Oh, from today?
No, like since the recent release. Dude, I could have sworn.
When was the release? I'm talking about a match from like 3 or 4 days ago.
Oh, then then I don't know. Then they're destroying it.
I was literally, I remember this. It was I was playing actually versus Gajmi Hormigas, Chica. It was on Amia, and on Sector B. I remember Hormigas. He put behind the bus. He put a mine there, and he kind of he just put it there and he attacked me and I killed him and then he died. And then I remember I looked there and then on my mini map it said it spotted a mine, you know, and I just forgot about it. I just went. I was like, oh, it was only one mine and it's a spot I wouldn't go there. I killed Hormigas. Later on, I was getting attacked by a tank. I had to back off. I ended up there and actually got disabled by that mine from a guy I recently killed. Well, and sometimes you actually, yeah. I mean, it's still there. I mean, just to finish up, the thing is about with these mines that's the big issue from my perspective is that it's the environment on Battlefield. It changes all the time. What the thing is, every time you blow up a mine, it puts a crate on the ground, and that's, first of all, it's just weird, like driving there or you running there. People can actually prone inside of these, and it's really, sometimes they're hard to see, and you can even put mines in them deeper, and they're also hard to see. So it's like, it's so weird that it's just another spammable accessory, and it's the whole issue lays within the environmental change. I like they're there, but I think there are too many of them. And I think they change too much the environment, especially on the small maps.
Well, I know from my own experience that when they put the mines in the craters, it's hard to shoot them as an infantry player unless you're standing pretty close to it. Like the angle of it is really weird. Like you can see the mine, you can put your crosshairs on the mine, but it hits the ground. Like there's an invisible wall right there that's sticking up just enough to where you can't get that angle on it. So. So Deuce, what do you think, man? Deuce is gone. He's checked out for the day.
No, I cut out. No, I had an internet issue, so I just missed what was said.
So, what, are you for the massive amount of mines, or do you want to see it toned back?
I want more mines, of course.
Mines?
What?
Mines?
Come on. This seems obvious. Like, why only put 15 when everyone can have 5 mines to
Let's
to
put
25?
50. Let's get 50 in our
Of
cartoon.
course. Actually, you know what I want back? You know what I want back is when you could put the mines and they would throw themselves at the people. That to me.
Hey, can't say that. Can't say it. God, dude, you're gonna get me in trouble.
You guys remember that from the PC Alpha?
Oh my god. But
That was my
well,
favorite
see,
thing ever.
okay, so my opinion is, and I've stated this on Reddit as well, I don't think, like, I'm okay with having the mines. I think that the shock assault with the mines is a good thing. We needed to have something else that the shock assault could do to vehicles, either ward them away, act as a deterrent, or slowing the tanks down. Not necessarily killing them, but slowing them down or directing them into a certain area of the map. What I don't like is the fact that they gave it to 2 kits. I don't agree with them getting it on the proximity recon. It doesn't make sense, in my opinion, the way the proximity recon is built to have mines. It's there for an anti-infantry. You're supposed to be able to find the infantry players of the other team. You're supposed to be able to have that information and then give it back to your teammates. And then you're supposed to be able to kill infantry really well. I mean, that MP18 hipfire, oh my God, is good. So I don't like the fact that they gave mines to him. I think that, and I know some people in chat might be really pissy about this, and I know Safe doesn't like it, but I do think that they should bring tripwires back. But very limited, very limited. I'm talking about you get 1 tripwire in your inventory. You are only allowed to place 1 tripwire down at one time. And if you die, as soon as your respawn timer is up, the tripwire goes away. So the other thing too is that the tripwire will not be able to 100% kill an infantry. He has to either be very, very hurt. So I'm saying, like, do like 70 damage to the infantry player, because the idea of the tripwire is to slow down infantry players. It's to make them think twice. And I know Safe doesn't like this, but it's to make them think twice about going through a door. It's to make them think twice about going through a hallway. In the second thing that it does is that it alerts your team and yourself. There's an explosion over here. Let's go look at and see what's going on. And so it does another job of what a recon class does, which is get information. It gives you that information that somebody's over there blowing shit up. Either he got hit or he's destroying it and about to make a push. And I think that that class needs that back. It needs that kit back. And of course, I am not for the amazing amount of mines that we see right now. I do not believe that we need to have 15 mines out potentially on one side. Like, have you played mines with it like that? It is ridiculous. It's just stupid. So I would like to see that change. And we didn't mention this at all, but the Farmer Stomp is gone. It's gone. The God Gun is gone. And I know Safe was really sad about that. He cried. He had tears on his Twitter. It was so bad.
I'm impressed. It didn't make it to the permanent game the way feedback was going.
I was expecting dual Frommers, man. What are you talking about?
Right. That's what I was afraid of, to be honest. I was afraid of like the former plus, so like you'd have like a bigger version with like more mag size, like a little like FAMAS.
Yeah. Oh hell yeah, that's what we're talking about now.
But yeah, finally got removed. Now, one thing I really want to talk to you guys about regarding the kits and the weapons, stuff like that, is the trench surgeon. So I don't know how, like, I have mixed feelings about this, and I don't know what my position is on the topic. But like the autoloading extended is, to me, one of the most like accurate and powerful weapons in the game.
It is.
So having it on the kit that can also heal himself up, to me, is a little bit overpowered. The amount of kills you can generate with that kit is beyond ridiculous for me.
Well, I think what you're running into, Deuce, is what you're running into is like what the squad leader was before they took the autoloading off of him, because he could run around with the freaking med bags and the autoloader.
But it's not the normal autoloading; it's the extended part that makes it overpowered. Because the regular autoloading, sure, it's good, but
he had extended on the squad leader at that time.
No,
that's what I'm saying.
He always had a short one.
No, he always had the regular one. Yeah. It was a 7-shot one.
Bullets.
So it was good, but you get 1 kill and have to reload. Now you're getting 1 kill, bam, you can just switch out right up and you're getting multiple kills. You get with the extended, if you're good enough, you could literally get 2 to 3 kills.
Oh,
and like it gets it to a point where, like, I don't know, I'm pushing the guy And even if I, pre-fired and hit him first, he's gonna hit me, then go back into cover, put the med bag on, and instantly he'll have more health than me. Even if we both aim the same, and he still has a superior gun. Me, I'm mainly like an AT assault player, so the sweeper is good, but it's not as accurate, for example, as an auto loading. And I'm facing them all the time, and it does get fairly frustrating because not only does he have a better weapon, but he can also heal himself,
I agree.
and that really kind of bothers me. So maybe I don't know. Maybe I'd like to see it switched up where a class that doesn't have heals gets that. I don't know. I don't know if I would even like to see, for example, like just throwing it out there, like the auto loading replaced with the sweeper and the sweeper replaced with the auto loading extended on the classes. I don't know, but I feel like I don't enjoy the way the trench surgeon is.
Well, I think that to me it is frustrating because I had to play against Mayic the other day, and fuck Mayic. But basically, like, there were ways that we countered him. A lot of it was a lot of it was him throwing smokes down and then me basically running into it, crouching, waiting for him to run by and then killing him in the back. But but I think I think it's good that the medic has something that he can do some killing with. It is frustrating that he can heal himself, but like that class right there, in my opinion, was kind of neglected to begin with. Like it needed to be in. I think if you give like the extended to the AT assault, you're just gonna make him the ultimate killing machine. Like he's already there to kill the tank, and like when the tank isn't up, the incendiary AT grenades are ridiculous to clear out buildings. I mean, I think you guys have to agree that that is an amazing area denial in mid game to late game. So I think like to me, I think if you put the autoloader back on the med, maybe without the extended, that would balance it out a bit. But also, there's a part of me that doesn't really mind it right now.
Yeah, but I mean, my issue is in a rank. My issue is in the scrims, and I've been literally playing scrims every day, and that's where my issue is because, like, when you're putting it in the hands of like top players, and you're trying to do the 1v1, like, I'm at a clear disadvantage in both the gun and the fact that he can heal himself. So, and that's my bigger issue.
Okay. Well,
it's a double disadvantage, not like one, because like if I'm going at like okay, he has a better gun, but we both of us can't heal each other, I can find the way around, maybe keep a little bit more distance, stuff like that, or do some other things to figure it out. But when I have double disadvantage, then I literally just have to be like, okay, well, he's there, I might as well like do something else instead right now.
So safe. Like the change? What are you thinking?
I mean, it depends. On PC, it's different, and it's I don't know. Like it's
Safe's like, I spend most of my time in a tank. What the hell do I care about a medic?
Yeah, it's that's the thing. The thing is, I have a different opinion about. I mean, actually the medic, it's a bit mixed. But to be honest, I think it's one of the strongest kits in the game right now.
Right now, yeah.
Right now, because you can just smoke and revive, and it's literally winning games, game after game.
No, exactly.
And I'm talking about guys I have no clue who they are. They just revive. They just revive. I was playing against Johannes, Hunter, whatever. Even if you kill them with a tank, he revives them, they get up again. I died a few times outside the tank where I got revived, and I could repair my tank and get back in it again. That's how good.
Okay, so do you think that do you think that the revive right now is a bit on the overpowered side, or do you think that he can combine the smoke with the revive so you can't actually find him to kill?
I think the combination of smoke. I think there's too much smoke spam. The thing is, there are a lot of things you cannot see in matchmaking. You can only see the real issues. You see them is when you play scrims. And since Deuce, he's playing a lot of scrims, and I know he plays way more than I do because I don't play scrims. There's no one to play scrims against him on PC. He can see all the real issues because he's playing against the good players, and good players, they always abuse to the worst things possible to win, and that's how it should be, because there is
Of
no fair
course,
play here. If you want to be the best, you gotta do all these things, and the thing is, yeah, there's too much smoke spam. You're probably gonna notice like the mines. I'm pretty sure the mines there. Trust me, there are some. Going back to the mines, you can place them at some spots on the map, like in the middle of the road. But just because there's a box or whatever behind it, you will never be able to spot it, because the spotting mechanic is obviously broken. It's always been broken in Battlefield 1. How many times have you spotted at the tank and you spam Q and it's just not getting spotted on the minimap? And that's a tank. That's like the most important info you want to give your team, like to indicate to the mortar or whatever, the AT guy, where the tank is actually moving. You're like spamming Q, pip, 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 and you're not even that far away. And it's a combination of a lot of things. It's every mechanic in Battlefield 1 is half broken, and this is why we can't get a complete game.
True, true. I don't want to play devil's advocate on that one, but we are still in the testing phase.
Mm-hmm. and yeah, coming back to Mac, it doesn't matter. He was actually playing medic the other day. I was on the tank. I can't carry one man army with tank. You can't do that anymore.
Yeah.
Because he literally outfragged the 4 other infantries. I had 4 randoms with me. He outfragged the shit out of them.
It was painful to play against.
Time on the map. He just avoided me. I didn't see him a single time. He just outfragged. I couldn't do anything. Like I just drive with the tank. Yeah.
So
you know the rest of the story.
So what do you guys think of the change with the medic? Because right now, okay, if we were doing a ranking system, would you put medic in like the top 1-2 spots for strongest class right now?
100% for sure. Like
okay.
That the combination of having the pretty much the best weapon in the game with being able to heal yourself.
So do you think it's just because of the weapon that he's all of a sudden the strongest? Because I mean, what about the med pouches that he's gotten? Because he's become a lot more mobile, in my opinion, in terms of getting heals. Like you can push with medics now, incredibly aggressive. When you couldn't before, it was very tough because they had the crates. You had to rely on your squad leader to do that. But I've noticed now that my medics that play on the team. I haven't played much medic myself, but the medics on my team, and I've noticed when I play against them, like Mayak, they are extremely aggressive, and they're able to have that crowd of like 2 or 3 people around them, constantly throwing those med pouches out.
I think the way you can already fix the medic right now in the like short term, is making it so the med pouch that you're throwing still do heal your friends the same way, your teammates the same way. But when you're doing it to yourself, it has a reduced effect, so that you can't just spam it on yourself and push, stand on yourself and push. Because that's essentially not the role of the medic.
Well, what I would like to see to counter that, and this is something that I've actually posted up to you guys in the past, is make med pouches, revives, ammo pouches, crates, all of those consumables. Make it so that you have a limited amount of them in that life. Okay, you want med pouches? Fine. You're only going to get 9 of them. So you have to choose when are you going to use them just for yourself, or are you going to use them for your teammates in pushes? How are you going to use those pouches? How are you going to use those ammo pouches? How are you going to use those crates? I think doing that would definitely switch up with how you would play these particular classes and in the way that they're spammed.
No, that's actually a good solution, because like, I don't know, I'm a main ATSL player, like I said. And when I throw those 2 nades and I throw my limpet and I kill the tank, after that, all I have left is my main gun, pretty much, unless I'm running the mortar support. But the medic, he's just infinitely going to be good. Like, there's no limit. He's just going to be good for as long as he can stay alive, essentially, or he goes out of ammo. And yeah, I think making it so like it's like a nade you throw out, so you have to refill it. That's a good idea, actually. +1.
+1.
+1. I never thought about it that way, but that's a good take on it.
And and also I would like to see the syringe, and this is something that I've actually mentioned back in, what was it, July, I think, or something, or August, when we met up and had our little discussion. Anyways, I would like to see the syringe being used as like you get a 3 to 4 revives with it, and that's it. So you have to pick and choose, what players you're going to revive. Do I want to revive no offense to Safe over here, but he jumped out of his tank to repair it. Somebody throws a grenade, it blows up the tank and him. I go over there and revive him. Well, do I want to revive him or do I want to revive my squad leader? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do I want to waste this revive on him? He could just spawn back in. Like, I don't need that. I think those kinds of choices would add in a little bit more depth to it. I know it'd be frustrating in some senses because you're not going to be able to spam it, and to the players that are able to stay alive for an enormous amount of time, it's definitely going to be frustrating. But I think that it will add in some really interesting moments. So we've talked about medic. Do you have something else, Safe?
No, I just said I agree. Actually, sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
So we talked about medic. That was good. I do want to kind of go back just for a moment. What do you guys think about the main guns on the tankers? Do you think it needs to be changed, or do you think that they're okay as they are?
They're horrible.
They're useless. Like literally, like unless you have like for some magical reason you find a tanker that's some MLG Infi as well as MLG tanker, like maybe Safe. Not to float his boat anymore than he needs to. But like actually, honestly, like unless you find someone like Safe, which is literally like there's already like a lack of tankers around, and you're asking people to like also be professional infantry at the same time as infantry player. You know what I'm saying, Safe? Don't. I said, but like you can't force them to have the shittiest like guns in the whole game.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah.
It's not even funny. Like it's beyond a joke.
Well,
like I'm okay with not giving them an autoload extended. Obviously, you don't want them to get out of their OP tank and then being like God mode in infantry. But give them a gun you can actually do something with your life. Like
this is where I think the influence from the main game is too strong on Incursions, because they're thinking, okay, a tanker or pilot from from the main game only gets this kind of stuff. We have to then keep that same style. I would like to see the tanker get something like the Hewitt, low weight Hewitt. It has 25 rounds in it. It has a decent rate of fire, and you're going to be able to have really decent mid-range fights. I used to use it a lot back in the vanilla game, very early on. It felt fantastic even back then before the LMGs got their buff. So I mean, it's like it felt like a very balanced AR. Like that to me felt more gunplay like in Battlefield 4 than anything else, and that's why I liked it a lot. So I think if they brought something like that over to the mechanic or to the demo driver, it would help out quite a bit, because you're absolutely right. Like it sucks so bad to have to wait 2 minutes to get somebody to help out. I mean, they're just useless. They can't do anything.
Just to put my opinion on this, I mean, yeah, the main gun for the tanker is terrible. It's useless, especially after the TTK. You have absolute no chance to help your team with anything. That being said, there is the secondary gun for the.
Okay, yeah, that is good. I will admit.
The mini shotgun. Yeah, I know not a lot of guys use it.
Use that as my main weapon. Yeah.
I started using it as my main weapon. Now I don't want to give my tricks here, but it's actually I've been having a lot of success with it.
Take notes, guys. Take notes.
Tricks the Safe.
The thing is that what I love about it is it's quick. It's a 2-shot kill weapon, but only in close range. Like it needs to be close range. So a smart player would always put himself in a close range combat to use it, and you can heal yourself. Now that's why I'm not complaining that much. I actually love it way more than I do with the Frommer. With the Frommer, I didn't get the same enjoyment, the reward when I get a kill. I knew it was a cheap kill. But with that one, no, I got four bullets. If they're wasted, I'm dead. And it's a long respawn, sorry, not respawn, reload time. So, like basically, what you can do is that you just need to play smart. Now I've seen tankers, they play in different styles. Some tankers, when some infantry push you, you shoot him once, you jump out of the tank, and you finish him with your shitty gun. That's one trick to do it. The other trick you can do is that you can shoot with your main gun. I've done this before. I did this with Johannes actually the other day. I shot a few times with my main gun. I don't even remember the name of it. Do you remember it, Deuce? the main gun for the tanker.
Uh-huh.
Do you remember the name for it? Because I don't remember the name. Anyone remember the name for it? No one remembers the name. Anyways,
Yeah.
Oh my god, let me
No.
check.
it's trash. So
It's
anyways,
it's
if you
the
shoot,
C96 carbine.
yeah, on the other one, they're identical. There's no difference.
Yeah. That crappy shit, yeah.
And basically every time you
Oh,
shoot
the
it.
Piper. Oh my
Oh no,
god.
not the Piper. Yeah, the Piper. That's I don't touch that at all.
Oh my god, that's like, what is this, Wild West Online or something? Like, come on.
And the 96 carbine. Yeah. So basically, like you shoot with it, and everyone is like from the enemy team is like, oh, cheap kill, free kill. They push you, and then once they push you, you pull out your secondary gun, and you just wait for them to finish them off. I mean, it works most of the time if you can hit your shots. But
So the bait and switch.
the bait and switch.
Yeah, but honestly, like,
1000 IQ.
I would.
But you can't do that. You can't do that on every game, on every map. It's a few kills. You need to get super close to get these kills. You need to play in a specific positions, areas, houses. But in a real match, I don't think you will be able to do that.
Damn it, safe.
then-
Now no one will push a battle mechanic ever again.
Never.
Please don't
Never.
push.
You have
ever.
ruined the meta for battle mechanics.
No,
now.
no, it's not. It's not that strong because it's pretty much a gun where you need to kill the enemy by surprise. It's not a gun where you're like, I say it. I mean, yeah, you can push with it, but it's mostly a gun you use it by surprise, hiding back corner. Hope you can get one, maybe two kills if you're lucky, or a kill assist. But it's not. You're not going to help your team. Now, having something like mortars, which is the most noob-friendly gun in the game, it's literally stronger than the tank because you can use it all the time, and it kills faster than a tank actually kills another tank. I just demonstrated that in a video. I posted it in the Discord, Deuce, if you haven't seen it yet. And it's combining this, it would just take out your tank in no time. And then what are you gonna do? You're gonna wait 2 more minutes just to spawn and run into a mine or run into another mortar?
Well, see, that was my concern with overflowing with the mines and stuff, is because you're gonna have too much AT on the field. Like, it needs to be in such a way to where, like, for instance, the mortar needs to work with a shock assault or an AT assault in order to kill the tank. Like, it shouldn't be able to solo a tank. The shock assault shouldn't be able to solo a tank, and the mortar shouldn't be able to solo a tank. The only kit that should be able to solo a tank should be the AT assault. The other two need to be able to work with their team in order to actually get that goal. We were chatting a little earlier, Safe, and I think all we need to do really with the mortar, because you don't want to nerf it to the point where it's useless. Nobody picks it, which is what it was a couple of months ago when they changed the accuracy on it. I don't think the accuracy is the problem. The rate of fire and the amount of shells is the problem. I think if you limited it to 3 shells and you just tweak the rate of fire just a bit, I think it would help out tremendously. It would still be effective in making the tank back up, because it does. I mean, that's what tanks do. They just want to get away from the mortar as quickly as possible. And they could still do a little bit of damage to the point where a shock assault could end up finishing it off, or, you know, that AT assault have a little bit of an easier time in order of killing it.
Mm-hmm. I agree on that one. I don't mind that. I see that one happening. The motor needs to have its shells reduced. It needs to be slower, and it shouldn't be something you can use all the time. The big issue with the motor is not against tanks, against infantry. It's the debris, it's the destruction it's doing.
Oh god, I think the debris thing needs to just go.
It's the range, and it's the range for like you need to actually drop. By the time you get to the guy who is shooting you with the motor, he already fired all his bullets on you.
So it's kind of pointless going after him.
Exactly.
Because he's at full health and you're pushing him and you're at half health, so yeah.
Exactly.
Oh.
And that's like, and we have like no direct contact at all. He's just hiding like in some spot. And then once you get there and he finished all his shells on you, he still have 118 ready.
So does the mortar show up on the mini map when he starts shooting it like it does in the base game?
No, I don't think so. I
Yeah,
don't
I'm
think
pretty
so.
sure it doesn't.
It doesn't.
I was thinking
because
at
those
one
would
time
have
that
been
it
easier
did
to
though,
track.
because I know Breck. I was
Yeah.
playing against Breck a couple of matches,
Yeah.
and like I would start mortaring first, and he would pinpoint it like immediately.
No, it doesn't actually. You don't
I
know
think he
where
just saw where the
where
smoke
the
was coming
smoke
from.
comes
Yeah,
from.
'Cause you
okay.
can see the smoke going up, but I don't. Yeah, it's not. By the way, going back a second to the like battle mechanics stuff like that. You know what I would like to see for the kit change for like the weapon and stuff. I would like to see like a Regati on that as a main weapon, and then
Holy
no health
shit.
pack,
I
no health
wouldn't
pack,
mind that, but
and no health pack, no health pack. So you
Really?
can't
No health
okay.
pack?
heal them. No health pack.
Well
So
okay.
he
So
can kill some infi, but then he can't heal himself again.
okay. So then, what would you replace his gadget with?
That's another good question.
Yeah. So I mean, like, I
Mines. There you go. Mines.
more mines. Tripwires. We need tripwires back. Oh man. So all right. So we talked about kits, gadget. Okay, so I just want to say this. Just give me one kit with a gadget or a gun that you would want to see removed or change. Deuce, go.
I don't want to see mines.
No mines. Safe, go.
Sorry,
Or at least
what
it
was your question?
disappeared.
What was your question?
If you could have one kit where the gadget or the gun could be changed, which one would it be?
For the tank only?
No, for any
Or
kit. For any
the
of the
mortar,
kits.
definitely. the
Mortar. Okay. I would have to say right now it would probably be the mortar for me. That is a very annoying. Like even though I was talking about how the proximity needs tripwires, right now the mortar is very annoying. So
Yeah,
okay,
but
so
you know what? One thing, just before you move on, like this is the thing. Like the mortar, the guy has to sit there and actually use the mortar, so he's taking himself out of the action while he's being annoying. The mine is just there and it's sitting, and the other guy can just do whatever he wants and still being annoying at the same time.
yeah,
That's the problem that I have.
yeah. But that's
Yeah,
what
but
that's the problem that
the mine
mines
doesn't
and
kill you,
claymores have
like-
had all the time in the past.
The mines is just a spammable thing, and it's just annoying. It's there. I would say the mortar and the mines needs. to
Sadly,
be-
it actually
needs to
takes
be
less
tweaked.
skill than a mortar does. Okay, so next.
I've seen some crazy shit with the mines. Actually, I've seen like a guy who just like running towards me. He throws his mine at me, and his teammate from range, like shock assault, he just shoot his grenade launcher towards the mine, and it just instantly disables me or kills me.
Yeah,
That was pretty
I had him doing that day one. It was annoying.
Yeah,
It was annoying as
that was
fuck.
pretty cool. But that's cool.
Okay, so next one. Let's because we're gonna have to wrap it up here in a couple of minutes, guys.
Yep.
We're not gonna finish out with the topics, but this next one, and I really am curious about this one because I have been an advocate for this since Battlefield 3, and I've had a lot of strong pushback from Battlefield competitive players. But what is your opinion on the one map, one mode that we have right now? And would you guys be up for having a multi-mode map pool where we would play, in a best of 5 series and have, up to 3 different modes, similar to what we see in Overwatch, Call of Duty, and Halo?
Okay.
Yeah, you can start this. Sorry.
No problem. So personally, I want to see, and I've done this in the past with the ESB events. I like multi-mode events. So like I'm all for it.
Boom.
Like teams shouldn't only be good at one kind of thing. And like even my own team, like I played for a long PS4, and like we struggle a bit more with Giant Shadow, for example, but the other two we've mastered, and so you have to master those kind of playing styles. And to me, like you'll find better teams and better talent doing that. Now my issue is that I don't want to see one map, one mode. I want to see like 3 maps for each mode.
Yeah.
Like it can't just be one. Like right now, it's too limited. It's too like you don't have like I'm sure events will come up soon enough. Like right, the state of how it is right now, it's too basic. It's too bland. There's no like.
Not enough difference.
There's not enough there. It's like it's only like you need to learn 3 maps. I mean, come on, that's sad as hell for a competitive player. Only have to learn 3 maps. Like, come on, like we're playing Battlefield esports, and I only have to learn 3 maps. Like, come on, like honestly, like it comes to a point where like there needs to be more to learn and to do. Like,
okay. Well, I can kind of I understand exactly what you're saying. I don't like the one map, one mode deal. I do want to see multiple maps being but I am a very big advocate for the multi modes. Safe, what do you think, man?
I mean, Brent. I'm an old school like you, but I like this idea with new mode, new map in Battlefield 1, and that's just because the game itself is trash. So you need something new because yeah, you can't play like Conquest on Sinai and Giants
Okay,
and
so let's back up a little bit, Safe. All right, and this is just for the sake of because Battlefield 1 is such a bad example to use as a base. So what if we were playing in, let's say, Battlefield 3, and we had 5v5 Conquest, we had Squad Rush, and we had, one other mode? Would you be up for doing a multi-mode in that scenario? Because I played Squad Rush back then. I also played Conquest back then. I loved both of the modes.
Yeah, me too. I would, if it's these two modes, I would definitely say yes to that. Why not? Why would I limit myself? I enjoyed both. I played both. I've seen teams play both and master both.
But would you do it in the same tournament? So if we
yes,
were to have
yes,
a best of 5 series, would you play in a situation to where like map 1 was Bazaar Conquest, map 2 was Noshar Rush or Squad Rush, and then map 3 was another Conquest or whatever?
Yes, why not? But that's a different story. That's a different game. Everyone loved Conquest in Battlefield 3. Everyone loved Squad Rush in Battlefield 3. I played both. I was practicing and competing on both. They both modes had their own charm. It was hardly like they had their issues both, but it was so intense. I really enjoyed playing them. It's the same as when you play Overwatch. Like the modes, there is no favorite mode. You like all the different modes.
Oh no, I have a favorite mode.
Which one is it?
I like the payload.
Team deathmatch.
Oh yeah, I like I like also.
I absolutely hate King of the Hill. I hate King of the Hill in Overwatch. Hate it.
That's the only one actually. Yeah, that's like reminds a bit of domination in BF4. But the two other modes, where you just push, capture the flag, and then push to the other point. I like that one. I don't remember what it's called.
Well, okay, so I'm a little bit surprised, honestly. I really thought that Safe would be against the multi-mode. Because most of the time when I was dealing with competitive players back when I was running events and casting, was a really big pushback on having to learn, because they were saying they had to learn more maps, for different modes.
Oh, poor baby.
They were all similar, actually.
Well, and that's kind of what I always.
I agree on that one, but it's just only because I liked a lot Squad Rush and I liked a lot Conquest.
But I mean, if you think about it though, if you have multiple maps or multiple modes, you only have to have like 3 maps for that mode to have a good combination, because you're going to be mixing up the mode and maps. And if you have 3 modes, then you have 9 different maps that you're playing. So it fills up your map pool with the different modes that are in there. Yes, that one mode you're only going to play 3-4 maps on, but it does change up throughout it. I would love to see it. I love the fact that that we do have the multiple modes in Incursions. I would love to see them improve Sinai Desert. I think that you can take King of the Hill to another level by not having the breaks in between the hills. I think if we saw it to where it was a get rid of the whole set deal and just have like a set 50 points that you have to have, and then have each of the flags be like, I don't know, 5 minutes per flag that you have to go to, and then every 30 seconds is a cap. I think that would go a lot better, and then you would know when you would have to rotate, when you would have to hold. Do I want to contest this flag for the last couple of seconds to prevent them from getting it, or to try and get it myself, or do I want to go ahead and rotate for the next flag to get control? I think that would be a much better situation for that particular mode. And I think if we had, like right now, I was thinking about this the other night, if we did like Giants first map, Amain second map, and then Sinai Desert third map, it would really change up the pace. You would have Giant Shadow, which is it could be a very intense map. And then you switch it over to Amain's, which has these pretty big lulls in between pushes, right? You get a squad wipe and there's a big lull in it, similar to what we saw in Squad Rush. And that kind of slows down the pacing a little bit. It gives the casters a little bit of time to explain things, gives the viewers an opportunity to kind of slow down a little bit. But it does offer that clutch moment feeling to it, because you have those moments where you can get squad wipes. And then that third map, Sinai Desert, would just be kind of like your pivot map, to where, this is where if you're down 0-2, you're going to be able to have this opportunity to change the momentum in the game. It can be kind of intense, but it doesn't necessarily have to be too intense like it is on Giant Shadow. But I really think that, like, if we had a mix of that, it would feel better as a cast. It would feel better for the viewers, and it would also be better for the players as well. Plus,
Yeah.
it's like what Deuce was saying. It allows teams who are not necessarily good at one mode to succeed at another one. So maybe you don't have the best Giant Shadow team, but you're damn good at Amains. So you're going to be able to still compete, because you have at least one or two modes that you're good at. So you can kind of falter. Maybe you pick up one of those modes every now and then and still make it through a tournament. I don't know. I was just always... I've always been a big advocate of it. I'm surprised that you guys are too. I was really expecting you guys to not be. So that's
I mean,
shocking.
all from my past experience is that all the tournaments I've had in BF3, like at LANs, they were all Conquest Small, and they were definitely the ones I enjoyed the most. And this is definitely, if I had to choose, I would definitely go with Conquest Small, because this is like where my passion goes. This is what I love the most. But I loved Squad Rush as well, and I wouldn't mind seeing those. The difference is that, Brett, you said like teams would have to learn too many maps. Yeah, that's if you do it the Battlefield 3 style. But if you get only like 2 maps with Squad Rush and then like 2 maps with Conquest Small, that's a different story.
Yeah.
It's not like Operation Metro. You need to learn it in Squad Rush, and then you need to learn it in Conquest Small, and then you need to do the same with every other map. That would be too much. Going back to what you said about, like, yeah, teams having a free pass, or yeah, winning on their how is it, stronger map. It's or on a different game mode. It's a bit similar to actually to Counter-Strike. There are also 2 different map styles. There's always those that are more dynamic, like like Dust 2 or Mirage, and there are those that are very CT sided, like Train and Nuke.
That's a good point.
And actually, you see a lot of the lower tier teams. They always beat the stronger teams playing on maps like usually, like like Nuke or Train or Inferno maybe. And that's a good example of it. And it's true also what you're saying, because on EMEA right now, from the times I practice or played against like teams who I know my team would probably destroy them on Sinai, but we're having a harder time against them on EMEA. And that's because of the way the map is built, and the mode. It's easier for them to understand. It's easier in general for every player to understand. That's why I like it so much, because it's so simple to understand, compared to Giants or to Sinai, where you need a more dynamic play style. So yeah.
Yeah, I hope that we see it. I know that we're going to be seeing some leagues hopefully pop up now that Incursions is back online. So hopefully we're going to be seeing them. I hope that we have players kind of embrace the multi modes in it. I know from past leagues we had some of them that would only pick a certain mode, but it would be kind of nice if it was almost, I don't want to say forced, but if there was a system in place where you had to learn all 3 modes. And I realized I did see somebody over in chat saying, I do agree with you. Yes, there are going to be some modes that are utter shit, and we shouldn't be forced to play them. I agree with that. Right now for Incursions, it's kind of a weird spot because we are testing things. But yeah, I mean, if we were in a base game doing some competitive stuff and King of the Hill just doesn't work, well, then we would just scratch that mode. I completely agree. But I do hope that they don't just completely pin one mode into it, like we only have Giant Shadow mode for the next game for all of the maps, and that's all we play, because I do like that change up. I like that little. So, anyways, guys, that is going to be it. We're going to be wrapping it up here in the next minute or so. Anything, Deuce, Safe, that you guys want to say, wrapping this whole show up? I mean, it was kind of like a test run. I hope that everybody enjoyed it.
I want to thank my parents and my fans.
Asshole. Oh, man.
Please don't call me a professional tanker anymore. And,
Oh!
thank you. No, I'm just
I
joking.
know what I'm going to do now. It's going to be
I
Safe
said
the Pro
dodge.
Tanker. We're gonna have to find clips of his and just put like a montage.
Just rename yourself on Origin to Tanker _Safe.
Well, weren't you Incursions there for a little while?
Yeah, that was my old name, Incursions. That was what Chica said. That was hilarious.
Oh man, Deuce, anything else?
No, honestly, no. This was fun. Honestly, I like this kind of format. So something people enjoy.
Yeah, just a little bit of a conversation.
And like you see, like coming up with like possible solutions to problems. Round table discussion. It's what I prefer, to be honest. So hopefully we can get even some more people even engaged in both the chat and maybe in here next time. Yeah,
absolutely.
It was fun.
Yeah, so guys, like I said before, this was just kind of a dry run just to kind of see how things were going. I do hope that maybe we can have this on a more frequent basis. Like I said, once leagues start bouncing up or popping up, we'll be able to talk, about the matches themselves, what's going on, hopefully with some more frequent patches that are happening as well. But yeah, this was fun. This was a good, nice conversation that honestly, and Safe knows as well as Deuce, we don't have these conversations enough. And it's nice to kind of air this out. I know we talk on Reddit and in chat a lot of times, but it's very hard to convey your feelings in those forums. So it's kind of awesome to have some voice chat going back and forth. And yeah, hopefully we can get some other guys in here and talking to other players, other organizers from other platforms as well, from the console side of things as well as the PC side of things. I know I'm a little bit biased when it comes to PC, but anyways, guys, we're going to be ending it out there. Thank you so much for watching. This will be posted up on YouTube hopefully here in the next day or so. So if you want to share it with anybody, definitely feel free to. The VOD is going to be up on Twitch as well. So if you guys want to share that, you absolutely can. But definitely look forward to this popping up sometime in the future. You can get some devs in here. Yeah, Gambit, I have thought about that. Right now, the problem with getting devs in here is that they are under so much legal issues. Like they just really can't talk. It's hard to get them to talk. So I don't think that we're going to be able to do much with devs in here, but that is something that I might bring up. We might be able to get Ghost in here. Eric is a real good guy. We could probably find some topics that we can chat about that won't be going against some NDAs. Kevin is also a really good guy. He's actually cast with me before. We might be able to do that. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. You can find me at BrettFX. You can find Safe at, I believe it's just Safey, right? SAFFI?
Yes, on Twitter, yep.
And then codename Deuce, which is codename_Deuce. You can go check him out on Twitter as well. Make sure you look for information on ESB. Hopefully that's going to be coming up here pretty soon, and we'll be able to get some cast going down there. But yeah, fun times. Thanks for coming out, Safe and Deuce. Had fun, and we'll see you guys later.